Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. So, thank you very much for your support. Now, I've been criticized and I have been a critic to some degree of AMC, the movement. Not the the movement is not the right way, but the whole story is around AMC. And actually, I have never criticized the apes. I'm just saying that I have actually criticized who? AMC senior management. Why? Because the company has a terrible performance. AMC influencers and YouTubers who have been basically circle jerking over and over again with Peter Pan stories and conspiracy theories back and forth. Well, the stock does nothing but go down. So those have been the people that I've been criticizing. But today I wanted to do let's say, a positive video on AMC, if you will. What do I mean by that? Like, what could happen positively that could lead to the stock performing very well over the next few years? Now, let me be very clear. I'm not talking about the crazy stuff of $50,000 a share and $60,000 a share and all of this craziness. And what I want to do before I go with the positive, I wanted you guys to think about it. Now, let's say that a guy like me sitting in a place like this can figure out that there are trillions, I've heard this before, trillions of synthetic shares manipulating the AMC price down. And me sitting from here with a computer, I could figure out all of this. And somehow I was starting to expose it, right? If this were true, there are institutions in the market with hundreds of billions now, but dozens of billions of dollars, with huge teams, including lawyers, by the way. So if this was true, those guys could find out the same information that I did, and it would be of their best interest to buy the stock and then expose all of this if this was true, and they would make more money. They would make more money than hundreds of years of their existence. So they would have all the incentive to do this. Now the question is, why don't they do it? And here is the part where I think I wanted to mention that this overseeing or this positive light on AMC comes with a caveat, comes with the disclaimer that, well, number one, I'm not a financial advisor, obviously, but number two is I'm talking about realistic price appreciation. If you want this a $500,000 a share kind of stuff, I mean, look, there are other YouTubers who do that. And if you want to play that little game, fine. If you want to believe that there are trillions and trillions of synthetic shares out there, fine. What I'm saying is that there would be so much interest for people to expose it, just the way that I explained it, that it makes absolutely no sense. Now, does it mean that there's no manipulation at all? No, that doesn't mean that. What it means is maybe instead of the share price be $3 or whatever it is, maybe it would be $6, but never $60,000. Okay, so that's my point. I mean, this is my opinion, right? I mean, if because I always find it funny, right, when people say there are trillions of synthetic shares. The real price of AMC is $100,000. So how can you say that with such certainty? I mean, is the entire world sleeping and you're the only guy, with a single computer that figured all of this out? No. The idea is that you click on that video and then you basically hear the explanations of why that price doesn't come. And then when the price goes up, another explanation video, and the price goes down, another explanation video, and you keep going back and forth, and it keeps collecting that precious ad revenue. That's it. Now, let's go with the positive light, okay? Positives, let's say reverse stock split happens, there's huge dilution, but AMC senior management tightens the belt, reinvents the business model, pays off the debt, reduces the costs. The business is now profitable, up and running, strong cash generative. Can the stock go substantially higher from here? Yes. Why? Performance is good, which attracts normal investors and institutional money, plus huge cult dedicated following within the apes. By the way, I use the word cult here as a positive word, okay? So don't get upset about it. So that it would be a very good scenario. Scenario number 2, market conditions improve. Maybe there's a recession, maybe they print a lot of money once again, maybe we take on risk on assets again, and the AMC can run once again. Is all of this possible? Yes. I would tend to prefer to focus on the fundamentals of the company, because if you improve the company, if it becomes good, or at least there's a clear path towards profitability, and you see that the company is going into that direction, that can be a huge opportunity. But okay, if you're gonna join in, with all the craziness because you think you're gonna get $500,000 a share, can it happen? Sure, it can happen. You can also win the lottery 5 times in a row. So, yeah, sure, why not? But the point is, if I were investor in AMC, I would be now very careful to see what AMC senior management does with all the proceeds from the divestiture. If the company does well, if market conditions improve, if inflation further reduces, which means people have more disposable income to go for things like the movies, if AMC reinvents its business model, which is far too expensive and far too costly, that's why they lose money even at the operating level, then yes, AMC can go to much higher, particularly because you always have this percentage of apes who never sell. And this is not for AMC, any investment where you have a bunch of people who buy and they don't sell, price goes up. Doesn't matter what, can be carrots, can be crypto, can be stocks, can be whatever you want, can be cars, you name it. If you always have a dedicated following that does that, it's easier to move higher than other stocks. Now, is this possible? Yes, it is. It depends on the next few quarters and years of AMC, because if in a few quarters the company keeps losing money hand over fist, keeps burning cash, repaid debt but is now accumulating debt once again, then it's a ticking time until the next dilution. And that is valid for any stock. It's not about AMC here. It's valid for any stock. So, positive light. These things can happen. AMC's conditions can improve, company can become profitable once again, and then maybe the apes will have a day in the sun. Maybe, let's say if we have a reverse stock split, let's say $3 goes to 30, maybe we can see close to $100 one day. Who knows? But this is subject to a certain condition. If people will come to you, oh yeah, no, this is going to happen because the hedge funds are meeting in secret and the SEC is in panic mode, so they are really investigating this. If you're going to keep on going with this kind of stuff, then AMC will just, while you ignore performance of AMC extremely poor, then unfortunately it's a matter of a couple of years before you are in the same position. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.